Yo, what's good, everybody? It is your boy Texas back with the MUTMen podcast, episode number 130. We got Gut Fox here as always, man. How you doing today?
Oh, not so bad. How are you doing, Tex?
Doing good. Going a little hungry, so hopefully we can go ahead and not go for 4 hours again, so I can go get some food.
With Kralo on, we went I think I ended up talking to we ended up talking for like 4 hours, and like the podcast was 2.5. We talked before, a little bit after.
I got back from work and I was like, why are they still on a call? Like, what are they talking about right now? Like, yo, that post show must have been great.
It was just like generic talk. I think I'm trying to remember what we talked about. It was a little bit about Mutt in general, but it isn't anything like, it was like feedback and him and his personal stuff. So it wasn't anything like groundbreaking. Just generic, banter back and forth. But Holloway, you must not have been at work very long, because me and him were only at the popular.
I think my computer glitched out and like came back and they said y'all were on a call like at 2 in the morning.
Oh,
I don't think y'all were in that call until 2 in the morning.
No, definitely not that long. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes or something after you left.
Yeah, so it was really crazy.
But yeah, so anyways, introduce our.
We got a first timer here, so go ahead and show him some love. We got my man KingWolfe, aka Wolf. I didn't mean to step on your intro there. I'm sorry.
I mean, I like the intensity that you brought there. I mean, I felt like a wrestler coming out. You know what I mean? I just need that background music. You know what I mean?
Break the glass.
If we can real quick have Gut Fox do the music and then you do the announcement, and I'll come out ripping the shirt.
Coming and weighing at us, just like Michael Buffer types of level stuff. But man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? First time on the podcast, man. I'm glad to have you.
A little hungry. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I actually forgot because Gut Fox actually postponed me, man, last week. Man, he threw me to the side. You know what I mean? Like a side.
You got big timed?
You know what I mean? He did that to me. So I forgot today. So I was on my way to get some food. So I'm a little hungry right now. I could eat something.
Hopefully you don't need a fox.
I'm doing good.
Wolves and foxes don't get along in the wild, but I hope we can get along over the internet, though.
We're gonna start something new, Gut Fox. The fox and the wolf are gonna come together like Bloods and Crips. You know what I mean?
Does that actually happen? Because that doesn't seem like that's a very good analogy right there.
I've never seen it, but I think people are going to be seeing it for the first time, and I think that's a good thing. It's going to happen right here.
Yeah, love conquers all. I love it. All right, so I'll run down the agenda here quick. We're going to talk about Wolf here and his thoughts on gameplay, his backstory with Madden, his YouTube channel, all that. We'll talk about Red Chems, Team of the Week issues, power-ups and their usefulness, the best and worst sets, solo battles, their issues, and them cheating. Series 2 coming up, and then at the end we'll do comments, questions from the comment section from last week's podcast when we had Kralo on. And then if you want us to take a look at your question for next week's podcast, put that in the description below. But let's get right into it. Hey, so Wolf, how long have you been playing Madden, and how long have you been doing YouTube for? And of course, pimp your YouTube channel 100%.
All right, so I've been playing Madden since the ambulance used to come out in the field and run over all the other players to pick up the injured one. That's how long I've been playing Madden for.
92 or something. That's like super old.
I was pretty much like a kid doing that. But I remember that was the most distinct thing about the game for me was, I'd trip out because the ambulance would come, run over everybody, and pick up the injured guy. So I was thinking Madden 92, Madden 93, maybe.
Yeah, I'll have to look that. Yeah, let me look that up, man.
I think there's even gameplay of it. If you actually type that in YouTube, you'll probably pull up the clip.
It is 92. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was maybe like 4 years old.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm a little up there.
Yeah. Wow.
I was. Don't bring up my age, guys. All right.
Just
say
no. We won't. We won't.
Was it 92?
No, don't do that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway. So then, I started my YouTube channel back in Madden 15. I wasn't even making Madden content. I was making Call of Duty content because, I was a real hardcore gamer when Call of Duty 2 came out, when it first came out with 360. And then I was still playing Madden. I was really good at Madden. I was beating everybody I knew. No one would play me around here, family members. I have a big family that, we'd all play together and stuff. And it got to a point where they wouldn't invite me to play. You know what I mean? They would just leave me out. So then I started producing content. I posted a video. It was a money run play on my channel, and that play took off. It's like my other Call of Duty video got like 60 views, and then this play over here got like 20,000. So I was like, okay, we know what direction we're going with this. So it all started at 15.
Actually, I just added to the agenda. I kind of want to talk about YouTube and gaming tips for the Madden community. I kind of want to add that on to the end. We'll do that right before we get into the comment section. So I want to get back to that later. But so you've been posting for what? So 4 years now, right? So 15 to 9. Yeah, 4 or 5 years. So that's neat. I mean, like we'll get, like I said at the end, we'll get back to like the game, kind of the YouTube game here. So what do you think about gameplay this year versus the previous few years?
Okay, gameplay this year to me, at the beginning, I want to say the gameplay was good before whatever patch they released, because when they released this last patch in Madden 19, it kind of like messed things up. They fixed the cover 3 problem because, you know, I showed fake screen wheel to everybody in YouTube or whatever, and then they fixed it, but it kind of like broke other elements of the game. It's a lot of like you say, like glitches and just weird stuff happening in the game that I have never seen in any other Madden this much. So I guess you gotta take both sides, you know, like, okay, what can they do about it? What can they do about the animations and things that are happening? Since the game is pretty much animation driven, like, what can they actually do to stabilize this game? Because it just seems like it's happening a lot. Because all over Twitter, I don't see people posting, you know, their one-play TDs or awesome run plays or their great jukes. All I'm seeing on Twitter is all the fluky stuff that happens with the game. You know what I mean? I want to get back to where we're just seeing like awesome plays, awesome reads, you know, 4th down conversions and stuff like that, instead of like the kicker or the punter, you know, like he's being crucified. Who was that? Who posted that? Was that GS?
Yeah, it sounds like it's the GS.
Yeah. So, you know, it would be nice to get back to that as far as the gameplay aspect of Madden 19 goes. But, you know, Madden 18, the run was overpowered. There's other things. Madden 19, since like they fixed it, but then like all these other weird things started happening, and it's
post patch. You think the run is better post patch than pre patch?
I think it is if you stay away from conservative, because if you're on conservative, you're not going to do nothing with the run game this year. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So you have to stay probably on a balanced or aggressive. So I don't know, but I remember strip ball was very effective at the beginning of the year, and they kind of toned it down. So like there was like, I think, was it you that I watched on stream that fumbled like 4 or 5 times a game from strip ball?
Yeah, probably.
It was you.
I hate that shit. Like the punch out from behind is still overpowered as fuck.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
So it's like you had no choice but to run on conservative. And even at that, you'd probably still fumble at least once. But I'm glad they toned that down. But a lot of the other things, I think it needs to be fixed. Like, you know, it's hard for them to figure out, you know, pass rush versus pass block. I understand that part. It just seems like it's very hard because there's just too many possibilities, you know, too many things you can do to beat whatever they put out. And you know me, like, I don't know if, you know, people that follow my channel, whatever, I'm always looking for exploits and stuff. And that's not good. But at the same time, if there's someone else showing them, I'm trying to show people both ways how to do it and how to stop it. So it's like I'm trying to do how to use it and how to defend it type of thing on my channel. So I'm trying to focus to that this year, because last year all I did was show you how to cheese it. This year I'm trying to show you how to defend it and use it at the same time. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the ideal way of doing it, to show people I completely agree with that. Texas, I want to hear your thoughts on gameplay after the patch too.
So I'm not gonna say I played much after the patch. I stopped playing when I lost a draft champions game where I literally was holding triangle and I just couldn't get an interception. The ball just kept going over my head. I'm like, one of the plays I remember distinctly where I was in front of the dude he's running fake screen wheel, and apparently like the dude just stopped running his route on the fake screen wheel and just sat on the sidelines. I'm just sitting there waiting. He made the terrible read. I hold triangle, ball goes over my head. I quit the game. I haven't played online much since, other than just like solo, other than MUT squads.
And how long ago was that?
Probably at least 3 weeks ago.
So you haven't even played since the patch?
No, not really, not super duper like competitive games. Like just, so it just annoyed me. And then every time I go watch like Berg or anybody's videos on YouTube, your streams, like I watch a lot more streams. Everybody runs the same things. Just run drags. Like the gameplay is kind of annoying, and trying to get a big hit on these guys is crazy, and people just keep spinning to avoid the big hit or to like just get hit in the back, and the ball just never seems to pop out when you get hit in the back. Like it's just certain gameplay mechanics and techniques people are using are not really fun to me, because like I like when you can throw drags all the time, because eventually you're gonna fumble the ball. Because eventually I'm gonna lay a massive hit on you and the ball's gonna come out. But nope, not this year. If you just keep spinning and you get hit after you while you're spinning, you're not gonna fumble the ball. Like
that's actually a really good point. That's something I didn't think about, like with the balance of like the low cut stick last year, where everybody was fumbling for that low cut stick, so they took it out, the fumble chance on low cut sticks. If you get hit high when you're spinning, you're hitting the back and you don't fumble. That completely negates like the need to go on conservative, you just get hit in the back because you won't fumble, because you can't hit them low. They're not going to fumble there. You can't hit them high because they're not going to fumble there. But like, I guess strip is it. But if they spin around you, it's kind of hard to strip because you're in that strip animation. So yeah, I guess that's a good tip. I guess for the people that don't want to fumble, that's it's a bad game design, but you got to take advantage of it while it's there.
Yeah.
Right,
another thing, real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you guys. But another thing that I've found out since the patch is they fixed the cover 3 zoning in the game, to stop the fixed screen wheel, but they completely destroyed cover 3 match. So if you're a match type of cover 3 guy, the cover 3 match defense is completely broken. I figured that out labbing, because all I mainly lab things. I play some head to head, but I pretty much lab everything, and I'm testing all the zones, their weak spots, and what's going on. They released the patch, so when I brought up cover 3 match, it pretty much leaves all wheel routes open. So like they won't even match design, to where how cover 3 match works. They're supposed to man up on each side of the zone.
It's like man,
zone, whatever. So on wheel routes, they completely ignore them. So it's like fake screen wheel all over again if you're using cover 3 match. So be very careful with cover 3 match since the patch, because it's completely broken.
Yeah, I don't recommend running any type of match coverage. Or just run man coverage.
Cover 6, right? Because cover 6 is still broken too. Cover 6 and
cover 6. Yeah,
and invert and the invert cover 6 as well. Yeah. Don't use that one as well.
So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things broken in the game, but with cover 3, remember when they said like cover 3 would cover corner routes, if there wasn't a thing to clear them out? So apparently that was a lie. Like the halfback wheel corner route, that gets open against cover 3 that no longer matches. So they buffed halfback wheel too. How crazy is that?
It seems like the purples really just play clouds. I don't get how the purples don't get back into those crossing routes or those corner routes that come across the field. It's weird because if you throw post shot from I-form close, or there's a post shot, that thing gets open no matter what you run. Like you literally have to user that play.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do. There's no defense, not even man, because if you put a Tyreek Hill there, nobody that you man up with is gonna keep up with that guy. So you have to literally just user that route by yourself in order to have any chance against it. But I think the zoning needs to be reworked. I get the zone logic, how they're implementing it this year to make it more realistic. If a blue's going backwards and there's nobody on his side, he's going to man up with the guy going down the field. But at the same time, it's like it comes at a cost. Because at the end of the day, it's a video game. People are going to look for, the glitches, the exploits and stuff like that just to win.
Yeah. This was a question that was going to be in the comment section, but I'm just gonna bring it up because we talked about it last week with Kralo too. Do you believe it's on the developers to fix this, or do you think some of the community? Do you think it's some of their fault for cheesing so much in this game?
I honestly think that it's the rushing of the development of the game. I think this game, whether like they do Call of Duty. Call of Duty came to a point where they had to develop the game, one company every 3 years to get it right.
Yeah.
Okay. This game needs that kind of attention. Like they need to bring in another company to work on the game and have it like at least on a 2-year cycle. Because right now I think there's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Or it could be backwards, too many Indians, not enough Chiefs. Because whenever something goes wrong with the game, who do we place that blame on? If we go to the MUT content creator, he's going to tell you, oh, that's not my department. You go to another department, that's not my department. You got to talk to these guys. And then, you never get to the person that's responsible for these mechanics or what's going on in the game. And then when you finally reach somebody, it's, well, we'll pass it on to somebody above us, and then you'll never hear about it again. So,
the bureaucracy.
You know what I mean? So, yeah so I think that the game needs to be, they need to take time with it. Like I think it needs to be like on a Call of Duty cycle to where one company's working on the next game, and it's at least a 2-year cycle to get things right. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We asked Kralo that last week, and he's like, well, I mean, he obviously can't say, yes, let's do it. I mean, that's not his job. But it just makes sense. Like, either they need more developers or a second company. I completely agree. Texas, what do you think?
I just want them to bring some people in just to rebuild the code so that we're not building on faulty code. That's all I want. I don't know if that's going to require a total new team or just a dedicated resource to that, but that's what I would like, just somebody coming in just to rewrite some of this stuff.
And one idea... No, go ahead, Tex. I'm sorry.
Because even go back to when we had Rex on the podcast talking about the purple zone. Purple zones don't exist in real life, apparently.
Yeah.
So they had to have somebody make those. So and they keep bringing them in the game, even though they don't really serve much of a purpose, because they still don't do what
they were good in like Madden 12 or something way back in the day. But
they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Not anymore. Yeah.
why keep putting it out in the game? Why not go back and try to fix that as opposed to just keep putting code on top of other bad code? So that's what I want.
No, one of the
it's more
things
expensive, right? Yeah. Oh,
it
sorry,
is more
man.
expensive.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you come across that's common in the community is, oh, can't wait to run against halfback Will all the time. Can't wait to face that DB Fire, all day. What I think they should have done, or what they need to implement to counter that, is have a fatigue setting on that set to where if you're coming out in $326 DB Fire 2, after you run that play maybe twice, like your whole line or all your cornerbacks are pretty much almost red. You know what I'm saying? Until you get out of that into another set, to another package or whatever, and then come back to it. I think that would be a good way for them to actually tone down like the repetitiveness on plays and stuff, and force people to go inside their playbooks by using the fatigue system that they have in the game. I think that would probably be the best way for them to counter, repetitive play. Just
I totally see that. Yeah.
You know, unless there is another way, a better way to keep people from actually using the same plays over and over, because I see that it's a common thing that I see a lot. Oh, people running the same thing over and over. Can't wait to face that and stuff like that.
Yeah, it comes down to a few different things, right? Like there's that solution there. There's like, can you get the DBs to recognize a route that they've seen come at them 5 times in a row?
Yes,
exactly. But what I want is like the same routes have been pains in the asses for a few years now, right? Like the crossers getting behind coverages, or corner routes getting behind coverages. Like that's been just an issue. Like just fix that. Like why? It seems like such a simple thing. Like just give us a tool to be able to stop a route, or to be somewhere to stop something when we know it's coming. Like to maybe like a area of the field. Like there's the highlighting of receivers, but that doesn't work. Like it's been broken. So there's things that they can do in game to help this gameplay, and more than just the coverage. Like to switch sides of the ball, not to change it too much, but like I find the issue a lot of this game, what I hate right now is the blocking. So like me and Matster talked about this on stream on Monday, and he said it's the pass off system, which is an issue.
Hello?
Yeah. The center will pass.
Wait, Fox, we lost you there for a second. I'm pretty sure you're good on your end, but we lost you for a second.
It was a good 3 seconds. Good 3 to 4 seconds.
Weird.
Yeah, strange.
I wonder if is my internet having issues? I didn't drop frames all day. I'm gonna do an internet check though.
Okay.
But anyways,
we heard you talking about a master game with the offensive lineman.
Okay. So all right, let's get. So like, say you blitz from depth from like a 3-3-5 or something. The offensive lineman will pass off the guy that they're currently on to pick up somebody else. Sometimes they pass it off onto nobody, and then like because the guard next to him doesn't recognize the rusher coming through. So like a lot of times, like it feels like your offensive line isn't doing anything because they kind of like stack up behind each other on runs. They don't recognize defenders. So like it's not just like the zones that we have issues with. It's also the blocking. Like, I mean, people dropping picks is a huge issue. So there's like it feels like the game is, I don't know.
You know what I think, honestly?
Yeah, go on.
I think that I don't think it can be fixed, because if they're going off old coding and then the time frame that they have to create the new stuff, you know what I mean, since it's every year, I don't think it's something that they can fix. I think it's something that like it just has to be dealt with, you know what I mean? Until they like Texas said, go back in and change the coding and make a complete new game, you know what I mean? I want to believe that they can fix something like that, but I just don't think they can fix it. You know, like I think it's just something we're stuck with, because I've never had a Madden game to where crossing routes weren't OP. You know, if you didn't use the crossing routes, because in Madden 18, PA crossers from the Packers cross, that play literally got open and everything. It didn't matter what you ran. You know what I mean? You had to use that play, and it was easily used. But the idea is you shouldn't have to use that route because your own guys won't cover it. You know what I mean? That's the idea behind it. So I'm thinking personally, I just think it's in the coding and it can't be fixed unless they like change the whole framework behind it.
I don't know, like they've implemented new things like ID the mic and slide protection, and they've implemented things in the game that it feels like, I don't know, it seems like they can't fix it, but there doesn't seem to be any logical reason why, right? Like,
right.
Like
a quick patch.
Yeah,
a quick patch. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, these guys are gonna, but it's like it never happens.
Yeah, I don't get that. Texas, any ideas?
I don't know. I just know ID the mic's broken this year, so I don't. They implemented it last year. They had to freaking tune it because how your halfback did last year was go for cut blocks for no reason, and he kept getting hurdled. And then this year, you ID the mic, you ID who's blitzing, and that they still can come in because slide protection is not as good as it was last year. So there's a lot of things that just seem to work one year, not work the next. Not just probably because they'll put something new on top of the bad coding and it just reverts something that they changed already. And they go back and fix it. That's pretty much what I think is happening.
Totally. Yeah, 100% agree. Like, so I don't know. It does feel like there's like half a dozen things that are absolutely broken that need like priority A fixing, and then like there's another, I don't know, 20 things that maybe are like priority B. But it's like they just need to just start knocking these things out and take. Like, here's the thing. Like, I know they get the feedback. I know they get constant feedback like this. Mm-hmm. Like the difficulty that they have is just between the developer and the code, and not necessarily the feedback. So like, what I hate, getting back to like the topic up front, to blame the community. Like, I don't blame game changers. I don't blame people for running it. I blame the developers sitting in front of the computer screens working on ones and zeros or whatever code they're working on. It wouldn't be ones and zeros, but the code, for them not fixing it. Like, I 100%, and Clint even said this, and Rex said that before him. Like, I think we asked them. They're like, this is on us. We don't put it on the community because it is the developers, and I truly believe that. So that's all I got to say about that. Anything else you guys want to talk about with gameplay before we move on to the next topic?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Tapped out.
All right. That's it. All right, cool. All right, so red chems, talking about, I guess, a little bit of the coding issue. We learned this week, well, kind of learned. Texas, I'm gonna throw this to you to explain, actually.
All right, so but I guess I don't work with MUTLeaks. MUTLeaks and some guy, I'm not too sure what his name is, my apologies. They are doing some, I guess, dumpster diving, essentially, going through the code and trying to figure out what these red chems do, because we all know red chems can, at least last year, some of these were game changing. Look at Playmaker, look at Secure Tackler. And this year, their main point with training is you can upgrade your player and buy the ability that you want. But it looks like through the code that they found, a lot of these red chems don't actually work in the gameplay aspect. So the example they used was footsteps. Footsteps apparently is negligible at best when it comes to the radius that it affects the receiver for a chance at drop. It's like, I'm not too sure what the numbers. I'm trying to find
1.75 yards.
Yeah, 1.75 yards. And so you got to be literally like in the receiver's body for the most part for it to kind of be affected. So, but that's not even the bad thing about it. Apparently the bad thing about it is footsteps, the ability only works in arcade mode and in sim mode. None of the Madden online games from MUT are played in those modes. They're played on competitive. So you're buying footsteps, hoping it works to help get you that random knockout when your opponent throws a ball in traffic, but it doesn't work in competitive, which is what you play MUT on. So it seems like a lot of the abilities aren't working, at least, or are designed not to work we don't know what it is. Either they designed it not to work on competitive, or it's an error, which means that you're paying training, which is coined, which can be money, for something that doesn't work.
Yeah, and to further that, like, battle ready was taken out of the game, and in head to head, and apparently you don't get tackle battles anymore in head to head. That's not even something I noticed.
You don't get tackle battles in competitive. So competitive players are kind of running ruckshot over what the gameplay, the mechanics are. I guess they don't want the random chance in competitive, which is why we need two modes. We need four. We need sim, we need arcade, we need competitive, and we need MUT competitive.
Do we need arcade?
We do need arcade for solo, but I'm not playing any solo challenges on sim. Like, we need arcade for solos. Just for solos. But like, we need a MUT competitive mode and just a competitive mode. Like, competitive just needs, like, why they take out tackle battle? I know it's annoying when you get an animation, especially if you press the wrong button, because it pops up too quickly. But the fact that these competitive players are kind of dictating red chems from working or not working is kind of stupid.
And it makes no sense, because there are arcade aspects in the multiplayer, regular competitive. You got the field goal blocks, every other field goal, pretty much what it seems like. Kickoff returns and the hit sticks. The hit sticks, if you hit them right, I mean, it's kind of like an arcade feel whenever you're doing that. You know what I mean? It's not really what they call realistic to the game. So blocking field goals every other kick. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think they should leave it.
Do you have a kick block? Do you have a better kick block on your channel, like a video on it?
No, I haven't did one this year.
Okay.
Pretty much this year, I've noticed that, I don't know if it was like this last year, but you really don't even need to do nothing on kick blocks. You just let your controller sit there, and he'll go into the animation by himself.
Yeah, if you don't get perfect, it's a wrap mostly.
AI, the guy that you're highlighted on will take off in the animation for you, and then you just finish it. You know what I mean?
But you have to time it though, right?
No, not this year. I've noticed it, and one thing that I pointed out was you can try to time it, obviously, but there are times where the guy that you're trying to block with, if you just let your controller sit there, he'll take off on the animation by himself. Yeah, he will. It's a proven fact. I've seen it myself. I've actually sat there and seen it myself. I was like, hey, I don't have to do nothing. I just sit there, and then when it's time for me to block a field goal, I just sit there and wait, and then he'll take off on the animation himself.
Wow.
Unless it was a bug, but it's happened at least twice for me.
And this is happening head-to-head?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Especially.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool, though.
Try it out. Try it for a few games. Just let your guy sit there. And just wait, and you'll see that there's going to be a time where he takes off on his own. But you have to finish it. Don't get me wrong. You still have to time it.
You have to dive it yourself. Yeah.
But he'll take off the animation for you.
Wow. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. I'll definitely remember that. I'm going to write that down, actually. So also with red chems, like we talk about competitive players. Competitive players absolutely hated footsteps and under pressure. And according to the chart, those things don't work in head-to-head competitive too. So like I completely agree with Texas saying separate out MUT and salary cap competitive modes into their own thing. Because like in MUT, we pay for guys and their stats and these chems and for them to do these things for us. And salary cap wants some stats to matter, but other stats not to matter at all. Like they don't want catching to matter, spec catch. They don't want those like getting spec caught over. But so like in MUT though, like the only thing we pay for besides for like card art are the stats, right? Like we want these guys performing exactly as we see them.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that it's kind of like just fudged and not making a difference. Now I'm gonna put a huge asterisk over this. I want to say that these guys are looking at code and this might be referenced elsewhere in the code rather than just where they're looking. So they might, because there's like a few million lines of codes, this might be referenced elsewhere. So what we could be talking, what we could be saying is false. So
we always got to do that on front. We always got to make sure we cover our base because they, like you said, they could be incorrect. But if it's true.
If it's true. And
Bro,
Go on, Tex.
So if it's true, there's only 3 chems you can use on defense as so you got secure tackler, which works, and you got tip drill, and then hot hands. Because apparently under pressure doesn't work either on head-to-head competitive.
Nope.
So right now, what you guys are telling me is there's actually people that are grinding for these types of abilities that are pretty much pointless to waste coins or anything on right now, and they just don't know about it, and they think they're actually doing it.
If what they're reporting on is true. So under pressure doesn't work on head-to-head competitive. It works on arcade and works on sim. Footstep doesn't work. I believe unfakeable, pick six, and jump to snap do, because those don't necessarily affect the play, but I guess affecting catching and affecting missed and bad throws are going to fall under the category of not working, which is crazy because under pressure is 800 training.
Yeah.
And really it may not work. And people are spending 800 training for them that may not work, and EA's taxing a cap cost to something that may not work.
Now, besides MUT Leaks actually sharing this information, is there an actual way to test this kind of thing? I don't think there is, right?
Fox, I know Fox did one for Gunslinger, and he proved that Gunslinger matters, so you can always just go through and test that online. See, the thing with like bad throws though is just I don't know, like certain quarterbacks, like Cam has high throw under pressure, but he still airballs some passes.
So pretty much, guys that are watching this video, don't make any kind of decisions in MUT until you go through Gut Fox first, because he's gonna test it for you. All right, he's gonna make sure you guys are taken care of.
That's what I would. I wouldn't even like look to buy any ability that I know doesn't work. Like the thing with footsteps is it's stupid because it really should only be on cornerbacks. I know Cam Chancellor just got it, but like it's really hard to invest in something that is not really going to change the game, because they didn't really affect the game that much last year. And then so I don't know why people are talking about it this year, but under pressure, that can win you a game. And if you want to spend 800 training on it and it doesn't help you win a game, then that's just kind of, you're wasting coins at that point.
I think the way how bad throwing is this year, you really don't even need that chemistry, to be honest with you. All the overthrows in this game this year, it feels like every throw is under pressure.
Yeah. Quarterbacks right now are not slinging the ball exactly. Like I'm about the new team of the week, Mahomes, and he missed his fair share today, unfortunately. But I mean, even short throws he missed. So it must have been something with pressure. But yeah, it was tough.
One thing I've been hearing is that the Mike Vick, if you use him in regular competitive like weekend league and stuff like that, he'll overthrow the ball a lot. But if you use him in all Madden on SC, he doesn't overthrow the ball at all.
Yep, that's exactly what Matster said too. So I don't play salary cap, but apparently the thresholds in salary cap are lower than head to head.
And these dudes say that they don't change the mode. This company, man. Everything should play the same, man. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Right. All of a sudden, everything's playing differently. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It's so weird, like what we have to deal with to like figure out what's going on in this game. It's wild.
Yeah, it is.
I think we got to figure it out because they don't know what's going on either. So,
and we need a gameplay guy to go to in Madden. You know what I mean? Not like 3 or 4 different guys that can send it up to the higher level. You know how Call of Duty has David Vandahar or whatever. Everybody, he's the guy. He's the guy that you send all the problems to in your game. We need a guy like that for Madden. You know, that can take those punches because the Madden community got some haymakers. You know what I mean?
That's Kralo, right? The guy that was on the podcast last week.
Yeah, we need someone with a strong jaw. So
yeah, he definitely has. Yeah. So interesting. Red chems are very like the ones the red. What red chems would you put on your players? Like the only ones that I'd even consider putting on my players are focus kicker, conductor. I'm borderline pick specialist. Hot hands. I think I'm down for secure pass blocker. I'm down for playmaker. Yes. Secure tackler, I heard people are having their tackles broken with secure tackler, so I'm against that this year. Like, miss me with secure tackler. Other than that, maybe never stumble. I think that's working. I don't see as many stumbles. Well, actually, after a pick, stumbles happen a lot, but I don't see running back on. Tip drill, I feel like my guys kept tips okay.
Yeah,
but I can. Yeah,
tips are just. I mean, if you play just draft champions, you don't. There's no abilities over there. You catch every tip pass, no matter what, and so. I think just the best 3 would be focus kicker, but we can't get that only on one person right now, just because the lag online is annoying. So you want to be able to make those kicks, and then I guess on defense you just gotta because like hot hands is cool, but I don't know what it boosts. That's my main.
Catching.
I know it boosts. What is it like? Does it boost catching and spec catch? Like what? And how much does it boost? Like what? Like what is going? Because like it boosts the player's rating up. So, but how much though? Like does this guy already have like Chase already has good catching? So what is this doing? Is it going to make him like catch more ridiculous animation? Like I want to be able to see that it like increase my players' ratings on the back of the card. So I'm not really. I'm on the fence with chemistry for stuff like that, which says it significantly boosts. Like, but let me see. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because
now
significantly could just be a +2 because that's significantly.
Now, for the not so hardcore Ultimate Team players, is there a place that people can go to see all available chems and what they do?
Yeah, you can go to.
You know what I'm saying?
Share this spreadsheet with you, which is pretty like this. Here, I'll put it.
The one that he posted?
It's from MUTMen. I'll share this tweet with you. I'll put it.
Right, yeah.
Do you want to put it in the description or something, Texas? I'll put it here.
For other people that you would like, interested in what because if they're like me, I'm more of a labbing guy trying to figure out good plays and stuff like that. So for me to dedicate my channel to that, it's hard for me to go all in with Ultimate Team.
See, the main thing about this, looking at the spreadsheet, it's just that it's not in game. And so if you're trying to figure out what these things do, you just have to try it out. I know if you go to the card, like so I'm going to my Clowney right now, if I go to upgrade and go to his chemistry stuff, I'm pretty sure it tells me, like, so it says, so I got out my way. It gives you the ability on the card in game, but you have to have the card and then buy the ability slot to see what they do. So
I think right now, your 100 retweet tweet right now would be having all the chemistries listed and the ones that don't matter crossed out, you know what I mean, or like highlighted. These don't work, and to make like a little chart, you know what I mean, for people that are wasting their time because right now I can't even imagine how many people are wasting their time on certain chemistries that don't even work in the game.
So like, what is this?
Just wasting their time.
So like situational pass rush apparently it doesn't work either. But what does this mean? Player is more efficient at pass rushing on 3rd and 4th down. But
they get like better animations, I think.
But like.
It's like having aggressive pass rushing on without the ability to.
But it has to be 7+ yards. So if it's 3rd and 6, he's not.
Nope.
But like I don't even know how that works because apparently it doesn't even work either. So it can't even test. How are you supposed to test this out?
What do you mean?
Apparently,
you just have to take like 100 reps at 3rd and 7.
But you gotta go on arcade. You gotta go on arcade and compare arcade to.
Really? I think you can do it on competitive.
Well, some of these don't work on competitive though.
Some of them
so
don't,
they say.
Yeah.
So MUTLeak says.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but I'm going
Okay,
back.
so this tweet you just shared with me actually does it work? They already have it. Does it work? Okay, on this.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. Sorry, apologize.
You're good.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I guess the best three be focus kicker right now, secure protector on offense, and on defense I guess unfakeable now since secure tackler's trash. Since everybody's out here just spinning.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is unfakeable. But I think like you have the user control to not get faked out, right? And user, it's the issue. Like the steerable spin's the thing with the thing this year to fake out users. The one that like the big spin where you hold left trigger, right trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So like unfakeable is not going to stop you from getting spun out on that because there's no animation involved. They're just moving a big portion of the field. So unfakeable, it might not be that great, but it's not something I've tested. So it's kind of like theory crafting that.
Gotcha. Okay. So hopefully MUTLeaks is wrong about this, but they haven't been wrong yet.
Yeah, they haven't been wrong at all.
Yeah,
well, yeah. All right. So yeah, we just because EA hasn't come out and said anything either way. Yeah. Some of it's been pretty good though. All right. Moving on to the next topic after Red Chems. So Texas, you got an issue with Team of the Week. Let me know. What are your issues with Team of the Week?
All right. So I mentioned the Cradle last week. My issues with this is, and I was getting killed in the comment section to say, dude, none of these cards are used for Team of the Week because for salary cap. Nobody plays salary cap other than competitive players. So like
only the real pro grinders.
Yeah, like salary cap is cool, I guess, but like nobody. No, I'm pretty sure nobody has touched salary cap unless they had to. Like last year, we all had to play salary cap for MUTMaster. We didn't want to. Nobody liked salary cap except for the competitive player. That's what they had to use to qualify for the tournaments. And so if you're not playing salary cap, you're going to get a bunch of cards. And even the only cards that are usable are guys that have speed. So the guys came out today, Tavon Austin and Matt Burita. Like those are cards people are going to use because of, they got speed. But it's a 6'2" linebacker with 78 speed. He's not being used. He has no strength. He has no power move. He has no block shed. He has nothing besides height. And so I'm looking at a lot of these cards that come out, even the elites. None of these cards are players you want on your team. Like Deshaun Jackson is one of the fastest receivers in the league at his age still. He's like 88 speed. I'm like, Tyreek Hill's still better.
Oh, yeah, way better.
It's just like, what's the point of this? And Tyreek Hill's cheap, by the way, too. I know because he's price locked into a certain range because of the set, obviously. Even the Patrick Mahomes that came out is not better than the free Carson Wentz you get. And even the Melvin Ingram is not better than Jabal Sheard you get. And he's cheaper by almost half. So it's just really weird with how they're doing it this year. I do like how affordable everything is, but I'm just not a fan of how I really don't think any of these cards are players you would use on your team outside of theme teams.
Yeah, I mean, don't discount theme teams and just like the variety of playing online. Like this is what my biggest complaint prior to the season was with a lot of stuff that they like give away for free. It's like that Carson Wentz that's, quote unquote free if you do the journey. There's many of the quarterbacks that came out outside of like Vic and Cam or some like scramblers, like what's the point? Right? Like you could get the Diamond Brady and not miss a single pass, of course. But he's like what, $500K? I don't know what he's going for at the moment, but he was very expensive. So like that's when my video came out, like stale teams, things that I hate. Like this is just what this is the consequence. Everybody's like, I love this free stuff. I'm like, can't you just give us packs and coins for free and let us decide to build our team how we want? Like I really appreciate getting new content and new cards and stuff, but when it ends up not being the free shit that we already got, it's like, what's the point? So it's like they don't look ahead to the issues that these things cause for their game. Like the free cards that we got from the captains. Like, will you ever get another tight end besides for Sharp? No, you'll never need another one. Of course, you can change. You can trade. You can throw your training back down and back up. It's only like 100,000 coins or so, and that's not bad for changing positions for like ballers and stuff. But it's just kind of like the way the NATs go with this year with that. That's why I've always said, please give us auctionable things so that way we can build our MUT team how we want to, and that we're not stuck using the same cards over and over. Because if we want to use the same cards over and over, we just play regs, right? Like give us something that we can change up, make us create our ultimate team, and that's all I gotta say about that. Wolf, anything?
Well, I mean, if you look at the head-to-head aspect of it, you're always going to need speed, and you're going to need height. You're going to need the bar. You're going to need the Moss. You're going to need that. You're going to need the Tyreek Hill. So if they're not, they should be producing these cards later in the year. I don't think they should come out right off the bat. You know what I mean? Make everybody scramble to produce their team with what they're given. Don't bust out the Tyreek Hills till later. You know what I mean? To keep the content fresh and keep people, looking out for it. Don't drop the Tyreek Hill now, or like you said this year, the tight ends that are already fast. Like, I don't even need another tight end for the rest of the year. Like, who else do you need? There's nobody else. It's all about speed and head-to-head. And, maybe uptick the gameplay a little bit and lower the cards and not produce the great cards at the beginning and keep it toward the end. Or not really toward the end, or like maybe, half the season. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely sucks because it feels like the MUT guys are kind of screwed a lot by the gameplay guys, because the gameplay guys can't make the game not focused around speed for some reason. It's been this way for years. They keep trying to de-emphasize speed. Then every year we're like, what's the point of Antonio Brown 84 speed when it's like when you got Tyreek Hill who's significantly faster than him? Like, it just there's really no reason to not get speed on your wide receivers because they don't drop the ball that much more frequently, if at all more frequently, with the catch and traffic stat. So the gameplay guys are kind of boxing in the MUT guys, in my opinion.
Which I don't appreciate because this is MUT. You want to take your ass back to regular seasons if you want to be out here having more control. But
I agree.
I'm over here looking at so when it comes to trying to go back and get my thought back. I didn't mean to take a shot like that. I just legit lost my train of thought when it comes to what were we talking about?
I believe in you. I believe in you, Texas.
We were talking about the players. All right, come back to me. Hold on, I gotta think. It's never happened to me before.
Team of the week issues and the players being trash.
Okay, I got it.
There we go.
Maybe I got it.
Oh, Mike, win the save.
So, all right, I got it. I remembered it. Yeah. All right, so this is where it gets crazy. So I wouldn't be complaining about these players not being usable if EA had events like MLB The Show does. So you have to play with a 75 overall team. Oh, now these players have more value. But because we don't have to be forced to not use our regular MUT team, what's the point? So I think EA's dropping the ball on that aspect because they are giving us a bunch of players that we're not going to use without even giving us events to make us use them.
Mm-hmm. So I got a question for both of you. Mm-hmm. Would you guys sacrifice Weekend League to get something like King or Wolf? Do you know what events are in MLB The Show?
No, I don't even play MLB, to be honest with you guys.
They're basically just roster restrictions. So you have to use guys that are either this overall, your team has to be this overall. So basically it just restricts you to use it. Like, they could be an all silvers event, something like that.
All silvers, all
that's actually a good idea for Madden.
Silver can be higher than an 86, some stuff like that.
I would sacrifice Weekend League for those kind of events.
Yeah, Texas.
I would play a lot more if I had to play, because the thing with Weekend League is that obviously everybody runs the same plays and you be running into God squads, but I just want to see how people would fare on an even playing field, because there's guys that want to play Weekend League that just don't got the coins or the money or the time to be grinding to put into the mode. Right. But if you're
not paying the money, the grind is real.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially if you look at the Ultimate Kickoff. It's 7 hours of solos for a 200K card. That's crazy, which is go buy coins at that point.
I think that's an excellent idea.
It makes no sense. And so, if they have restrictions to where you had to have an 80 overall team, or you can have 5 elites on your team, or 10 elites on your team, and you can put them wherever you wanted to, and then your rest of your team had to be gold or lower.
Or it's they could supply the cards, like a pool of cards. You know what I mean? You could, like you're saying, 10 elites, but where are you going to put your elites? You're going to have a good kicker. You're going to have good cornerbacks, Yeah. But then we're reverting back to a salary cap style, aren't we?
Well, it's not really salary cap because it's salary cap is more so it's kind of hard to explain. It's an event because salary cap is it's a different thing where you got to be under a certain salary cap. Your team could be whatever you want it to be. It just can't bypass this restriction essentially.
Right.
So it's a little different than the salary cap. I guess it's kind of in the same
salary
vein.
Cap-esque.
Yeah, it's in the same vein. If there's an exit, it's salary cap, and it's the exit after that. But it's not the same thing essentially. It just allows people to compete because salary cap is not really allowing you to compete because you're playing against a small pool of people in the salary cap, whereas Weekend League is a bigger pool of people, and there are a lot of bums in Weekend League. So even if you
it has to be free.
Yeah, it is free too. Yeah, because Weekend League or salary cap charges you tickets, which cost coins. You got to spend money, and people who aren't good aren't going to spend coins or money to compete. They just want to play for free.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
The thing is sorry, go on, Tex.
No, I was just gonna say they said they didn't have the technology to do it last year. We ain't got it this year yet. What's going on?
Can we slide them an i7 somewhere? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just need to use their pack money on more developers. But with that said, I know we said like salary cap's one thing and building your own roster and restrictions and stuff. Like we were just saying how like underpopulated salary cap was. Like would this even be popular? Like here's the thing. Like salary cap's just the same all year. Whereas like these events they could change it up. Like not just with roster restrictions, but maybe they could just give us playbooks and they say, all right, you can only run these sets of plays on offense and defense. Like so there's that like with these events, it's not just the roster that they can change up, they can restrict. Because like salary cap is bad because the meta in salary cap is sometimes pretty terrible. Like last year, it was like load up on run blockers at wide receiver, and then basically have a God Squad defense. Yeah, and then just run toss the whole time.
Bronze
So I
line,
hated.
stretch toss.
Yep, I hated that last year, and that's why I stopped playing salary cap because it was so boring. And like on my main squad, I have the players to be able to stop that kind of cheese. But on salary cap, we kind of got a budget around. Like somebody could exploit you like that in the next game that you exploited differently. So it's somewhat of a chess match. So much more like checkers. Like this is what I'm doing, and then you can't really counter it because you don't have the tools to do it. So with that said, with the events, like I would gladly sacrifice Weekend League for that, even though I do really like Weekend League because I think the events. One thing is that the MLB events would go on for like a week and a half, 2 weeks sometimes, so you'd have more time and time to get like your master reward. So like at like if you get your 40 wins and there's no loss, like you can lose as much as you want, so there's not as much like pressure. Like you can get 40 wins and then you get like the master player for reaching that 40 wins. I mean, like if you go like 12-0, then you get like that like an elite out of the 12-0 pack or whatever, which they have more value in MLB than they have in Madden, because elites actually means something in MLB. Anyways, so yeah, that's a long way of saying that. Anything else on Team of the Week, or should we move on?
We should move on. I don't think they should. I mean, everybody wants a limited time player. It'd be nice to pull packs for, but I don't know. I don't really want a limited time player.
And it seems real quick that it's like they pick some of the wrong players in Team of the Week. Like some players that deserve it don't get it. Yeah. What was it? The first week, I wanted to say Evans. Did they make an Evans card last week?
What?
I don't think they did.
They had Evans slated for a primetime performer, so they have cards that they're going to be rolling out. And so that's why he didn't get one that week. I think he got a card that week, but it wasn't like a Team of the Week. So he got a 91 overall. So that's the reason why we don't get a lot of the players that have like good weeks. Like Khalil Mack has to be getting saved for something. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's Series 2 master, but he's getting something, because the reason why we haven't got one yet is kind of annoying because he's had 2 crazy weeks.
Have you guys finished Mount Master?
I've got it on 2 accounts, but not my like one that I'm currently on. So yeah, I have finished them, but well, the one account on PS4 I didn't finish them. That's somebody else's account I'm using. So yeah, I've used them. Why? What's up?
No, I'm just saying I'm just like the rushing and the passing. That's all I need.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so bad. I literally hate the developers for that rushing and passing yard requirement this year again.
It's far. I'm like halfway there. I'm at 40K on rushing, 40K on passing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But we tried to give them feedback, telling them not to do that, but they did it again. And
the thing is they need to come to you guys that play Ultimate Team all the time for that feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like
we had Jake on a podcast talking about stop this. That's the easiest way they can do it. I told him like, why not have like double XP and head to head for like passing yards essentially, so that we don't got to just like go into a solo. And he was like, that's a good idea, but like this is the only way they can think about doing it to where everybody can get it. But like,
yeah, so it's essentially a solo grinder.
Yeah, I realize a lot of these guys don't actually like play their own game. So like a lot of the developer team, they just grant themselves cards. So they're not actually going through the grind of it. Yeah, and that's why they don't care, because they don't got to grind for shades here. They can just grant them to themselves, so they don't know what we're going through.
Yeah,
kind of sucks. Anyways, hey, Wolf, what do you think of power-ups this year?
Power-ups is a lot of filler power-ups, to be honest with you guys. There's only a few good power-ups that you want to really concentrate on. The rest are just in the way.
I would say that's a pretty accurate statement.
Yeah. I say like the Bruce Irvin, probably one of the best, right? I would imagine Bruce is a good one. Who else?
Tyreek, obviously.
Tyreek, obviously. The Barry Sanders, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But other power-ups, I really didn't look into a lot of.
Sleeping on them, man. Sleeping on them. A lot of good power-ups out there.
There's a Bruce Irvin power-up?
No, it's not.
Oh.
The Raiders have. I don't think Bruce Irvin's power. I think the Raiders have a bunch of bad players. I don't think Derek Carr got power up.
So Wolf, what you're saying is like you don't really engage with the power up so far this year because Texas loves them. Texas is absolutely in love with them.
Power ups, honestly, it's like the grinding for the training points wasn't really worth it to me personally because you have to sit there and actually grind for those training points if you're gonna go no money spent, obviously. And so what I would do is I did all the solos and stuff like that and just concentrated on some of the best cards that were available, for my team as far as no money spent goes. But like I am powering up the most popular players like the Sanders, you know what I mean? I'm powering those guys up.
Yeah.
But
game changers.
Yeah, things like that. But going hard into other cards to power up, the training for me, as far as going no money spent, it's very difficult to acquire. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. And I you know what? I'll respond. I'll let Texas try and sell us on that first. Texas, sell us on power up.
I'm not saying something's already been sold. What are you talking about? The whole game's built.
Sell it to me. Sell it to me, right? Because like I want to see besides the most popular cards, why would I want to power up and really concentrate on these other power ups?
So since thresholds ruined Madden, so 2 years ago we had this big stink about Madden doing +1s, and with thresholds being in the game for passing and blocking and all the other stuff, we pretty much know that's kind of like a +1 upgrade. So a lot of these power-ups allow you to get players on your team for much cheaper since thresholds ruined this game. An example of that would be like the Lawrence Taylor. You can get 90 overall Lawrence Taylor for equivalent to 150, 200,000 coins. Okay, beast card. Or you can spend 1 million coins on his legend, and you're only sacrificing pretty much 1 to speed and then -2 to stuff that already is at 90. Which you can kim up, obviously. So you're not really going to be spending much. You'll be saving a lot more coins than just buying the player out. But talking on a low scale as well, there's some other players you could pick. Like Tyreek Hill at one point was 20K to get his power up. And his 90, what was it? 83 was like 100K. So you could buy his car for 25K, power it up for basically the price of quick selling an 81 overall elite, and then have a 90 speed receiver on your team without and only spend 35,000 coins. So it saves you coins, obviously, if you get the right players. If you want to try players out, you'll be spending more depowering them than it probably is worth it. But you'll be able to save yourself a lot of coins in the long run by getting some of these players before they get to their final level, because they're only sacrificing 1 in speed and then everything else is just -2, which is not noticeable unless it misses a threshold.
See, that's the attention to detail that I lack in Ultimate Team. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I'm going with the crowd. I'm going with with the cool guys. I see the cards they're powering up. I'm powering up those guys too, just to keep up. But all the extra stuff, it's like I lack that ability to have my attention focused on it. I guess because of other things that I'm doing in the game. The money plays and stuff like that. So that's just my fault.
Yeah, so with Texas's point, it's really good for like that Lawrence Taylor, like you talked about, because he was going for $1 million. Mm-hmm. So like trying out new cards, I tried out that 90. I wasn't very satisfied with it. I don't think it was a very good pass rusher, which sucks because it's Lawrence Taylor.
That's just that's a little unfortunately, you gotta play an aggressive.
I think they did nerf the pass rush with this last patch. I don't know, but it feels like it's lesser. Anyways, with that said, I didn't like power ups last year. I like them this year. Because of the ability to power them down and get your coins back and not waste them all. So it's kind of like a cheaper way, and just kind of like the leveling of powering ups, and it doesn't require the card to get up to that that budget version of them. So definitely, like, if you guys can take a look at each of the power ups, like if you want a card, see what the power up goes for. You can probably get it a lot cheaper. It's not 100% of the time. But like Texas said, the downside is if you're changing your lineup a lot, you will lose 50% of your
that's the only thing that
value.
You're gonna be losing if you spend 200K, you power back all the way down to 100K. You're losing right there.
Yeah,
so you got to go all in. You got to go all in whenever
you got to pick players you're going to be using a lot. So like my team's mostly power ups, but I know I'm going to probably keep Lane Johnson all year long because he has Secure Protector on. I know I'm going to keep Jason Peters year long because he already has the threshold for pass block. And then I just got to make sure I keep like the Tyreek Hill. So like last year, I probably everybody. I think Gutfox might have more power ups this year than I do. If I'm being honest.
I think I only have 2.
Oh damn, never mind. You only got 2?
Yeah, I think I have 2.
Okay.
I got 3.
I have 3.
Okay,
so I have a lot actually, but like I'm pretty much like content with a lot of these players. So I may get rid of them eventually, but like I'm not really Like I'm not gonna stress about training, but for those that are not want to spend a bunch of money on training to get these players, obviously be cautious and just get players that play well for you. That's why the power passes are cool this year because they give you
that's something else to mention.
they
Yeah,
give
for
you
sure.
a bunch of them, so that way you can go ahead and try players out.
Now, the best way to acquire that training, as of today, what would you recommend, Texas?
Well, today don't buy any training because everything's expensive. Because the best day to buy training is Monday through Tuesday. Well, no, take back. Sorry, best day to buy training is probably Thursday through Tuesday, maybe Thursday through Monday. It just depends on what they drop in the store for pack wise. But Monday's the best day because everybody's doing flashbacks and heavyweights.
A major promo, if that drops, that's a great day to get stuff for training
as well.
Yeah.
But like usually, just like, consistently, just gonna be Mondays are the best days for me because like even like heavyweight to it, who's a 90 overall, it's like 160K. A quick sells for 220 training, so you're getting really good CPT for that card that nobody wants. He's a good pool.
What overalls are you looking for that day?
90 overall. I mean, just anything that gives you at least between 70 to 80 coins per training. The lower you get, the better, obviously.
Yeah, you can look at MUThead under their prices section. Yeah. There's a cheapest training portion of it.
All right.
So a card is 160,000 coins. So 90 overall is quicksort 2,200, right? So 2,200 divided or 160,000 divided by 2,200 is 72 coins per training. So for every coin you spend, you get one. For every 72 coins you spend, you get one training. Really good. So that's what you want to spend. You don't want to like buy 80 overall elites because 80 overall elites are about 10,000 coins and they quick sell for 65 training, which means you're gonna be basically losing coins at that point.
Texas, I got a serious question for you. Why aren't you on Wall Street?
I'm good at math, man. That's one thing I'm good at, bro. I'm good. I was a tutor in high school, not having any tutor experience in math because everybody was just not smart. And I wasn't smart in math either. I just know how to read.
Right. So he's calling us dumb, Gut Fox. He's calling me.
Y'all are all
dumb,
smart. Y'all are smart. Y'all break down plays. Y'all can recall how to do this. Muscle memory is crazy. I can't do that, bro. I be in my streams like, yo, how do I beat this? Y'all got answers, bro. I be hitting Gut Fox up, bro. This guy's out here running.
Dude, I do the same thing on my stream too. I'm like, hey, this guy's sending this blitz. How do you guys block this shit?
Oh, speaking of that, shout out to Gut Fox's TV, man. I caught a glimpse of that clip too.
Rest in peace. Get a GoFundMe going.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah. Or pieces, I guess.
Controllers in my day. I haven't broken a TV yet. I haven't got that far, but a couple controllers. Yeah.
The most amazing thing to me about that whole video is like the comment section. Like, I wasn't called so much a dumbass as much as like, dude, I know what you feel like. I've broken controllers. Texas said he broke. Can I talk about that, Texas, or not?
Yeah,
Texas broke his phone in a rage of Madden. Like said, a lot of people said they also broke televisions. They've broken like many things that they hold dear to. So like, I was surprised that I wasn't called as. I'm sure a few people did, but I'm surprised more people didn't call me dumbass, and they're like, yeah, I'm right there with you. Madden rage gets to you.
You have to have that competitive heart to understand it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You gotta have it. If you don't have it, then you're just the dumbass to everybody. You know what I mean? But if you're competitive, you understand. So,
yeah. Hey Texas, tell me what the best and worst sets are to do in MUT this year.
All right, so I've been thinking about this a lot. Would you say the sets in Madden, from your perspective, Fox, are better than last year's sets?
That's such a generic question. I'm gonna say no.
Okay, because I feel
I think they're the same.
Because
there's only a couple.
I mean, we got some stuff. We got some fan favorites back, but they haven't reset them yet.
Yeah, that's why it's trash.
Unfortunately, but there's some good stuff, especially because like they make trophies more attainable, and the set's not as bad. And so I guess we'll do worse, right? So the worst sets are any Team Diamond set. Like the Team Diamonds are kind of interesting because like if you have a bunch of the players nat, then it's a good value because some of these cards still go for a lot. So if you happen to have if you pull Jalen Ramsey's an 89 nat, that's 500,000 coins you got to put into the set, and then you can basically spend 300K getting the rest of the set done and make 500K profit by selling the Jalen Ramsey. So but you have to have the nat cards from the get go. But just doing these things outright for a million coin Ronnie Lott who can't get an ability, trash.
I will say it's gotten worse, but here's the thing. If you get that Clowney from that level pack, put him in that Team Diamond set, that's a great Diamond set. So, like, I don't hate the team. Like, I know I said a gut reaction was, like, right away they're not any better, but now that you talk about more, I just looked through them on my console. I like them a lot better this year.
See,
No,
I like them
think
too
you're
for
right.
Nat purposes. I think Nats are kind of interesting because they kind of wrecked the market. It happened last year. We had remember the playoff cards. I think it was 1390 pluses, whatever the hell they were.
Oh
And
yeah,
the sets
yeah,
didn't make any sense to do because you were just breaking even. So you're
yeah,
putting in a Nat item that you already have, and then you're basically not making any coins or losing any coins. You're just basically
yeah.
It didn't make any sense because the market corrected. So everybody knows a lot of these cards you get back Nat. That's why Clowney is much cheaper than he typically normally goes for, and then his price also tanked as well. Clowney's not all, so the set's not like a viable thing to do. So when I did the set for the Clowney, I had the JJ Watt Nat and the other guy, and I made coins. But now you won't be able to do that, unfortunately. So it just sucks that you got to. If you have Nat items, it may not still help recover some of the costs. I think some of the sets that have high coin values are good, but just any Team Diamond set I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not a really big fan of just based off that. And then the token sets, I guess the Will of Training obviously is up there because I don't know what that's in the game for and why is that so expensive. And I gotta go.
And why hasn't it reset yet either?
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't reset. Then I go veterans packs as well because like none of those cards are good. None of those. I mean, I know Terrell Suggs fans might get mad. None of those cards are good, but I guess so. Low key, the best set in the game. I don't know if you agree with this or not. The best set is the low silver to high silver exchange set
Because of the power ups.
because of the power ups.
You're not wrong. I don't. Yeah.
I pulled a team of the week pack earlier. I got a 68 overall Adrian Amos. That's $15K. Pay for the pack.
Damn, nice.
So like anything that can get you a chance at power ups, I think are the best. And then so that's what I fucks with. And then I guess real quick is the series trophies. We got I do like the Nat Elite and Defensive Player packs because those things seem to keep putting out like a lot of heat. And if those cards aren't great, they can go into token sets.
True. I think the worst one is the Rising Stars.
Rising Star. What did to collect the 2 Rising Stars to get the token to put into the Rising Star player to upgrade?
Yeah, just the 2 players. No, just the 2 players for the upgrade.
Yeah. See, like I don't mind that. I just don't like there's no way to get another player. Like so, there's no packs that you can buy. There's no solos where you can get. You basically got to buy the player. I think the concept's cool, but not giving us extra options or resources to get those players is where EA missed the ball with that. Because I remember,
did we take it as a whole? Yeah.
Did we have Rising Star packs before? I feel like we had.
I think so. Yeah, we had to have.
Like
yeah, we did.
Star packs, some stuff like that.
Yep.
That's not a bad. It's not a bad choice, man. It's not a bad choice at all. What else you got?
What else besides the Rising Star stuff?
Yeah.
All right. So you already claimed training. Let me look through here. Kickoff. No, kickoffs are fine. Team of the week, I know people are complaining about because of it takes too many golds to get an elite, and there's like when you put 4 golds into something, it would be cool if it was like an 80 plus instead of an 80 to 81. So that way, it's actually there a little bit of an excitement into that set. So like it's not just like 4 77 78s for an 80 to 81. Just give us that 80 plus juice, EA, please.
That's
give us some excitement in our life.
Why are people complaining? It's just a break even set.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
You put in the 4 gold and then you break even because they basically sell for the same price as the 80. So like because like I remember last week I was doing this set making like 5K profit because the golds were like 3K, and so you put in like 4 gold for 3K, then you just sell the card for 20. So
Texas, what you're telling me is like a lot of the sets that you do on Ultimate Team is to make a profit later. Is what you're doing, or do you use most of the players you get from the sets?
Not no more. I think EA has went away from doing sets to make profits later on. Because what they want, the best way to make coins early on is do the set right away to try to sell during the hype. So even the kickoff sets, you could have made crazy coin if you sold a card for $1 million. I know some people did because you do the sets, you get the players obviously, then you sell the card for $1 million coins and you get 4 players back Nat. And so you can basically break even. Same thing kind of later on, like buying all these cards for 200K, sell the card for 800K. Like you can still break even, but there's not really any set they have in the game anymore where you can make profit, unfortunately, unless you get a big time pool. Other than like the trophy sets. Because like with the trophy sets, if you put 40 collectibles in, which is 60K, you pull an 86 overall, that's 60K. It's kind of crazy how that works. And then, but if you pull an 89, you make profit. But more than likely, there's no set in the game that you can pretty much do consistently where you're gonna make profit, unless you do it like right away and sell to people who are idiots and don't know how to wait.
Generally, the market corrects itself on those sets, and there isn't much, like Texas said. So that's why I said in my beginner. Yeah, what's up, Texas?
Go ahead.
That's what I said in my beginner MUT series, like kind of ignore sets. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're just there kind of like to do if you want to, but generally you're not gonna do like there's nothing hidden that's too glitchy. Occasionally you'll see something for a little bit, but the market always figures it
Yeah,
out and
market always
levels it out. Yeah.
balances it out. 'Cause
The
like,
the one that was real good to me, as far as the no money spent one, was the series trophy case. I mean, that one, all I
Oh,
had to do
yeah.
was play
Those are
multiplayer and then trade in for
Yeah.
great players at
Those
the
are great.
beginning. But now it's becoming, kind of pointless with the players that are coming
you
out
just
now.
gotta you get lucky and get like an 89 or
Right.
88. It's going for a lot. So like I think back. So Madden hasn't had like a set to make profit on since like or to do now for to lose coins to make profit on later since what Madden was it 17
What
with
was that?
the Team Heroes. You do the
I know
set.
I made a lot of coins off the Easter promo last year in Madden 18.
Okay.
I made a
Trying to
lot
think.
of
What was
coins.
promo Madden last year? I don't even remember.
Like
that
there's always opportunities to do it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
yeah, you just gotta.
Just generically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
But I think
typically they
more
do-
it's more of a grind. So if you're willing to make that 1,000 to 2,000 coin profit,
True.
Yeah,
as
so
opposed to
like-
last year I was making 25K profit. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like
So like back in Madden 17 with the Team Heroes, you could do all the sets, get the Julio Jones, lose coins or whichever team hero what mud hero, whatever the hell they called it, was available that month. Le'Veon Bell, Julio Jones, I forgot the last person. And then they had these sets called milestones where you lose coins on this, but you can make coins on the back end by having these cards and doing the milestone upgrade sets and selling the cards because they turn NAT cards into auctionable cards. And so we haven't had stuff like that in forever, unfortunately. It's been like two Madden seasons, bro. I miss it.
they caught on to it is what happened.
Oh yeah, that's Gutfox's fault.
Yeah. They hate
Him and
investors.
his investor series out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's why they make the Rising Stars not as good as the past. Anyways, talking about series, what Wolf was talking about. Series 2 is coming up this Friday. We're also getting the expiration of objectives on Friday. Are we gonna get like this major massive drop of content? Are we getting absolutely like, I don't know, jumbo dropped on us? Like, is this gonna be an amazing day on Friday? Or am I missing something? Texas.
I don't. So the last series update we got some new content, right? I think we got solos for, was it Kim solos at that time? I should probably look this up.
Last year around this time,
Yeah,
we got Kim solos.
when they updated the series, when they updated the trophies and stuff, like when we went to season 2, I'm pretty sure they updated like.
We're in season 1 right now.
I know, but
we're going into season.
No, we're going into season 2. I'm pretty sure last year when they did this, we got a bunch of stuff in Madden. I really should came prepared when I like looked at Mudhead and see what they did. But I'm pretty sure we got some new stuff. But we know we're gonna get new flashback packs, but we don't know what is going to be like the cost of the flashbacks, the heavyweights, and the veterans. We know the elite tokens changing as well. So all that we know for sure is that we're gonna be getting either the same sets brought back or they're gonna make the sets more expensive. So if they decide to go with the flashback route, make the minimum flashback you can pull now like an 88, that means they'll probably put all the 87s from the heavyweights and flashbacks in the packs, which makes pack openings more fun now because you see that flashback pack animation in your pack you pull an elite, which would be kind of clean.
To actually get one.
Yeah, and then same thing with heavyweights, and then same thing with the veterans as well. They decide to do that. But that's the only thing I know we're probably gonna be guaranteed to get is just a new floor for the flashbacks and a new ceiling. Which is weird because the flashbacks are updating every single Monday, so why are they resetting on Friday? I don't know what they're doing. We'll find out soon. What do you think, Mr. Fox?
Do you think it's something big? I mean, it could be big,
No, it's never big. This
or
early.
it could just be.
I think the only thing big will get is probably Kim solos.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
Yeah,
more.
and those are just whatever.
Yeah,
I'm going with what you think.
That's,
Right there.
that's the only thing I think we'll get.
I'm with Texas.
There's nothing like because the flashbacks are cool, but they make the set more expensive. People can get mad about it. So like last year, they made getting elite tokens more expensive. I'm pretty sure. So instead of it being 184, 182, and then 280s, it was like 184, 282s, and 380s. So the price jumped up a lot. And then same thing with the flashback sets and other packs we had where they cost instead of costing 1 elite token, 2 gold, and like 4 silver. I think last year it was like 2 elites and 3 gold or 4 gold. Like everything like doubled in price. It didn't make any sense for what they did. So I'm hoping that they don't make it more expensive because it's still early on right now. I know that they said that people are starting getting higher overalls and start getting like more and more elites they can collect. But with the elite tokens being that, I don't see the need in them having to make these sets more expensive to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I can almost guarantee like we're gonna get something more expensive. Like it's gonna get more pricier, right? Yeah,
I'm
like
pretty confident you're right about that.
yeah. So that's just gonna happen. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Would you recommend making elite tokens now, Tex, if you
Oh
can?
yeah, if you got the coins, like I highly recommend you guys make as many as possible that you feel comfortable making, because you don't want to be, because it's just weird, because like, if you make a bunch of elite tokens right now and they make the flashback and heavyweight packs more expensive, there's no point then. But if you invest in heavyweights and flashback packs and it stays the same, there's no point. It's just kind of like, but the good rule of thumb
It's
is
too risky.
No, it's not really risky. The good rule of thumb is if EA is going to screw you, if EA has an opportunity to screw you, they're going to screw you. So just go ahead and just make elite tokens, make your flashbacks, make your heavyweights, make your veterans like now, and then just go from there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get like 10, maybe 6 more. Like I'm gonna get like 6 flashbacks, 6 heavyweights. Just try to stack up on those, and then just hope that they, if they do update it, that I'm not gonna be screwed by making them too early. Because usually they update the pack, but sometimes they be out here on some shenanigans.
Yeah, because they could easily do that. Like screw you on the pack, but if you make tokens, they can screw you on the and then they can make elite tokens cheaper, but the pack costs more of them. So yeah, it is kind of risky, but that's kind of the world we live in. If you want to take that risk, just understand that EA can fuck you at any moment.
Yep.
All right, I want to move on to let's do solo battles. There was an issue this week, Tex. Can you explain what happened?
All right, so the issue with solo battles this week, the automated system glitched, and the solo battles had to be removed from Madden until, well, it'll be up by now by the time you guys hear this podcast. But I'm not too sure what the issue was, but a lot of people were loading into solo battles. They'll play one game, but then they'll get out of the game and they'll have 4 losses on their record. And on top of having 4 losses, they also seemed to be getting, they were counting games they didn't actually play. So people had like 8 wins only playing 1 game. So it was a weird glitch, and EA decided to remove solo battles, and they're going to bring them back on the 19th, which is a day after this, or a day before this goes up. So it was something, I don't know, on their back end, since I don't know what, like I said, the main issue was. But hey, I'm cool with playing 9 games. They're playing 13 for about 400K. I'm cool with that.
And a person that didn't play solo battles, I'm good with the 45K playing the 4 games. Thank you.
Why don't you play solo battles as team normally spend? It's like the best way of making coins.
No, I do. I just didn't play it that week.
Oh, this
time.
Week,
so
you don't gotta play. You don't gotta play the day of. People be rushing.
Yeah. Well, doesn't it work like if you don't play the 4 games by Wednesday, then you get 4 losses and it refreshes?
No. You got to play 4 games before Friday, basically.
Friday.
So you play.
Okay, because I was always confused because sometimes I would log into my Ultimate Team account and I was 0-4. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
That was a glitch in the past. Yeah,
it was a weird glitch. But so for those that don't know, if you don't have time to play, as long as you play at least the first sequence, make sure you log on to Madden first. You got to be on Madden, otherwise it will reset for you. But make sure you have the 4 games played, the first 4 games played before you refresh. So you can basically play this on Wednesday or Thursday. You don't got to play them before Friday. You can just, play them before Friday. So you don't have to worry about like knocking out 4 games Monday or Tuesday, then 4 games Wednesday or Thursday. You can pretty much just stack them. As long as you just don't miss the refresh twice. If you miss refresh twice, then you're going to be screwed.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
so I could have did that.
Cool.
I pretty much just, in a way, I didn't really serve myself because it was broken anyway, but, I'm glad they're fixing it.
That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and place top 10 on both my accounts and stack up some coins. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, good luck. I mean, top 10, it's pretty freaking ruthless now competition, isn't it?
No, not really, because people are not good at the game. I don't want to shit on people, but when I'm watching these clips that people send me for solo battles, I'm like, why are you tied right now? Why is it 7-7?
Okay, and Texas, this is weird, Texas, because I think the same thing on Twitter when people are complaining, I can't beat the solo battles, they're cheating me and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I blow these guys out 52-0, 52-3 all the time. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, like I don't know what the dealio here is. So I'm like, I don't think that the competition.
We don't want to sound cocky, but at the same time, it's like, how can you not beat solo battles?
Yeah, I mean, I get they cheat you, but like, you can't. I mean, if you're not scoring like,
now one thing
points,
I did,
you're not gonna have a chance at like placing high anyway.
The game that you play, like the first game that you play against the high overall, is easier than the team that you play next, which is a 70-something overall. And I don't know if you guys picked up on that yet.
Yeah, they adjust
It's
the
a lot
sliders.
easier your first game against the high overall than it is against the 70 overall.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
I think it's placebo. I think you go into the high overall trying, and the low overall you just think that they're not going to go crazy. They go crazy. That's what I think happens. I think you don't. Try
I get
your
more
hardest.
upset that I let them score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I could have had them at 0, get those extra.
See, I don't get mad if they score. I get mad when I can't catch them. I get mad when they throw a ball to like some 72 overall tight end. I'm like, why can't my Shazer catch him? He's fucking right behind him. Why is he running from him? Why I'm falling off the screen? Wait, okay, he's a touchdown. I get mad
that
at
video. That video you posted kind of scared me on solo battles, man. That's too much stuff going on right there. Way too much.
Yeah, there's more, bro. There's a lot more where that comes from because they are. Yeah, a lot of people keep just getting bad luck, man. I'm just.
I get it too. It's just never recorded it, but now I know I'm gonna send it to you if something like that happens. To me.
You gotta show the proof, definitely. Man. I get a bunch of messages. Y'all got cheating all about you. Got a video? No, I get blocked. Like, don't waste my time.
You can't do anything for me. What are you doing? Get out of here.
But yeah, back to the idea of doing that on your channel, Texas, is a really good idea.
Thank you, Fox.
It's no big deal. Yeah, glad it's doing well. Is it doing well for you? Yeah.
It's gonna eventually.
Eventually.
I mean,
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I gotta get better at like clickbaiting. Like, you won't believe this dumb.
How did you start the title with a hashtag? Why don't you do top 10 solo battle cheats or top 10 reasons or things that show solo battle cheats?
100% proof. So I mean, because I like the hashtag. The game is cheating because the game is cheating, bro. Whenever I get mad at a video game, like, this fucking game's cheating. I like that, but I'll figure it out. I'll get better at the SEO. So this is why
whenever you yell, Texas, this is just a pro tip for you.
Yeah.
Whenever you yell, video record that reaction, right? And then watch it back. And then right when you make just the craziest facial feature, snapshot that and use that in your thumbnail.
That's a really good point.
It's like this is just a befuddled look.
Yeah. You should, you know what? Even if like those clips weren't yours, you should still do that. You know what I mean? Like you know, people saying you put it on your, use that as your thumbnail. This game is cheating with your facial expression. At least 20K right there. At least.
Breaking controller.
Yeah. Show a broken controller. Yeah, or you throwing the controller,
We'll get better. We'll figure out what the best course of action is just first. I honestly recorded that like dumb late, and I'm just like, I'm putting this up on Thursday. I did not really plan it out. I was like, I got all these clips. I was like, I just throw this up. I didn't like put as much time into it. I kind of wanted like a World Star compilation. Well, like the person's name and the number of it, like on the side of the screen, but because a lot of these guys send iPhone clips, they don't know how to record horizontally, man. I'm getting mad. Like, stop recording shit vertically.
Right.
So I gotta get more better. I want to put a little bit more time into crafting, so people can get like it's more enjoyable to watch. So that's the next step.
Yeah. Hey, so talking about YouTube, like, how have you seen it like change over? And just be noted, you have to take a swipe at Eric Rayweather. It's a requirement of all of our guests on this podcast. So if you could just, Wolf, I don't know, say something mean about Eric quick, and then we'll move on to like, how have you seen Madden change and the tip stuff over the last few years?
So I have to say something negative about Eric Rayweather is what you're saying?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm about to say, maybe
because Bangle came on the podcast, and then Eric Rayweather came the next week to respond to Bangle, and it was a funny thing. Hey, so how have you seen YouTube change since you started in 15? Like, has the game changed? It feels like there's a ton more people doing it, so it's kind of hard to get out there.
You know, when I started in Madden 15, I could remember everybody that was doing the tip videos alongside with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you got this play from this guy, or you're doing this from this guy. I was like, who are these guys? You know what I mean? Like, who? And then you go check them out. I was like, I've never seen this. Like, there are a lot more, way more, and it's just getting bigger every year. And at the cost of that, the saturation level of the plays and stuff like that, it's kind of getting worse because everybody, it caters to the people that run the same thing over and over, and we get back to that problem. And YouTube, I want to say, it could ruin Madden or it could help Madden, because if it ruins Madden, it's because you're seeing the play, but you're not watching the video that shows you how to beat the play. So it's like, but I think the market for YouTube videos on Madden is saturated right now.
Yeah.
But as far as
like, yeah. So like with tip videos, like people told me I've quote unquote ruined things with the offside glitch on hurry up offenses. But
No,
like,
we need things like that. We
yeah,
need things like that.
they literally patched it 2 weeks later. So it's like if you publicize it, EA is going to react. And then if you leave it alone, people are going to know this and they're going to keep doing it. So you're going to see it for the next 2 years until somebody else decides to post it. And it's happened to me before with other glitches. So now my thing is I post the glitch unless it's like literally like game breakingly bad. Like and like so it's kind of hard to describe like what I wouldn't post. Like the decent glitch, I'm not going to post it. It's out there. People know how to do it. I'm just not going to post it. Because EA, I think, knows how to fix it, and it's like their priority number one right now. From what I think Krayla was talking about it last week on the podcast, and they're really trying to look into that. So that's something I'm not going to post. But like the offsides thing, definitely going up. Like because otherwise,
Right.
like they'd be like, oh, that's a whatever. Like that's not going to affect. But people lose games with that stuff. So
Right.
it's important to post that kind of thing, bring it to EA's attention, make it a big deal. In my opinion, at least.
And if you watched my videos when I posted the fake screen wheel, I was saying in the video, this thing needs to be taken out of the game or it needs to be fixed ASAP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was showing people this is how you run it because they're going to run it on you. You don't make no mistake. They're going to run it on you and they're going to get it from somewhere. Even if you get it from me, someone else is going to be posting it. And then people were showing how to beat it. So, you know, it was good for YouTube because we were showing you the play and then there were YouTubers showing you how to stop that play. So, okay, man, YouTube was good for something. People didn't know that they could run sticks to stop the fake screen wheel. They didn't know that had they not seen the video on YouTube. So it's a double-edged sword with YouTube. If you're going to want to learn the things on YouTube, you know, as far as Madden goes, you need to learn the things that also counter it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're right. Things like that are game-breaking, contain blitz glitches and stuff like that, those need to be addressed. They need to be put out there. Desync, everybody knows how to do it already. I think that came from the FIFA community, to be honest with you guys. I think it started there first.
Oh, really?
That's way down in the Madden. I mean, on a popular scale, because I remember they were still doing desync glitches back in 15. They knew how to do it. They knew how to do the pause glitch, those things. But I want to say that, I mean, it starts in the FIFA because FIFA is way bigger than Madden. And you know, it's pretty much almost the same thing if you think about it. You know how it's designed.
Yeah, same.
Madden's always taking stuff that from FIFA to implement into the game. I think Weekend League was started in FIFA first, right? And then they brought it to Madden.
Yep.
So things like that, gameplay wise, it needs to be exposed so they fix it. It needs to be like they're not going to listen to someone that's not an influence, but if an influencer says something about it, then it's going to be addressed.
Yeah, and to be aware of what they're doing, like, so that's part of it, like, because, like, what's the other thing? Like, Swerve last year, like, there are people getting, high up on the leaderboard by swerving guys. So I was like, I exposed it to the community because, like, this is going to happen to you. And is it better? Like, I actually asked people, is it better that only, like, a few people know this and they're, like, getting high up on the Weekend League leaderboard? Or is it better that everybody knows about it so you know what's coming at you if you ever face, like, one of the people that know it? Like, and things like these things start catching on slowly over time, so more and more people will know. Like, so that's kind of like also the debate. Like, do you put it out there so people in the community know about it and how to fight it, or do you try and keep it under wraps by not publicizing it? Like, so that's kind of the issue. What do you think?
Are you on
the? Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Texas or me?
Like yeah, you Wolf. Like, is it better that if something's not out there that much, that only a few people have that advantage over other people's, or should everybody be on the same playing field?
And here's the problem is the people that keep it under wraps are going to sell it through their ebooks. So you're still going to have that crowd of people that buy the ebooks that have, because the people that figure this stuff out are people that are making the ebooks to sell in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And those people that buy those ebooks are going to have that knowledge. So why is it fair that someone pays the same amount of money for the game and doesn't have that knowledge? You know what I mean? So we put it out there. And it's going to be up to the developers. It's their game. At the end of the day, they need to fix it. They need to address it. So yeah. I think putting it out there for everybody that's bought the game, have an equal playing field to everybody else. I don't know.
Agreed.
That's just my thought.
Yeah. Texas, what are your thoughts?
I like the whole putting it out on YouTube just because it's, I think it's a better way to get, like you said, EA's attention on it, because they always want you to send them stuff privately and just keep it under wraps, but that's not how things get fixed.
Right.
Yeah,
like that's not how. Like, if I would have, I tried, like, I even did something little. I tried a campaign, like, to get, like, I hit up like a bunch of guys in DMs to get what's his face's speed, like back in Madden, like 15, like Marquette King. Yeah, nothing happened, so I had to go to Twitter. and they freaking fixed it. Like, they finally got to it. So just when public pressure gets to them and they know something that's out that's gonna wreck something, they have to fix it. And so I like the whole using your platform that you created to do something that you should be able to do. So I don't mind everybody posting stuff on it. I'd rather you do that than kind of sell it, because
because it's gonna get sold. It's gonna get sold.
Like pretty much like every ebook that I see so far, everybody's running is kind of all selling the same thing, which is kind of crazy.
What do you mean, Saints?
Like Saints, and then that weird blitz where they bring the safety out in Big Nickel over G, or Johnny cover wherever the hell that is, and that safety just comes off the edge screaming. It's the same shit. It's
that's like the contain glitch. That got kind of patched a little bit. It's not as good as it was.
Like, everybody's just they're selling the same thing. So when more people are selling the same stuff, I don't know. I'd rather just one person post it, they fix it, so that everybody's kind of not getting bamboozled, but not buying something that they could just get off the internet. It's really, I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. All right, let's go into questions from the comments from last week. Again, if you want your comment for next week, feature for like a question, just put them in the comments below here on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, scroll on over to YouTube and we'll talk about it. All right. T-Reg wants stamina and injuries affecting games in MUT. What do you guys think about that? Should injuries be in MUT again, Texas?
No, only because there's nothing that they can do besides, because it's all random. So if there's injuries back in MUT, a guy can get crushed and not get hurt, but then a quarterback just gets randomly hit by like something and he's out for the game. So I don't want injuries back because there's no determining factor like what's going to cause this person to get injured, because that's one of the fluke things that happens in Madden. And then with stamina does matter. I mean, I don't know if you try to throw into a receiver that's not that's tired, like they don't.
Yeah,
catch
he won't
the
even
ball.
run his route right.
Yeah, they don't catch the ball. So stamina matters a little bit. I mean, you can still do the stamina glitch where if you cycle through your plays, your players aren't tired anymore, which is still kind of funny. It's still a thing. But I don't really want injuries back just based off of like my experience back in Madden 13, where like dudes get hurt and obviously you gotta get out here with your backup quarterback.
I agree. Or you could just glitch you by not having a quarterback backing it up.
Yeah.
So I do, and I've seen also with the stamina stuff. Like if you're a wide receiver, I noticed if your wide receiver's taking a lot of hits, they won't hold on to the ball very well later in the game. So like if they're taking a hit early in the game, like I think their catch chance goes down later in the game. Have you guys noticed that at all?
Just wear and tear. I don't play online.
I haven't noticed that at all. I rarely fumble because I'm always on conservative, so I'm rarely fumble. I can't even remember the last time I fumbled.
You can't spin people on conservative though this year.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think that was a good thing though. But at the same time, I think offensive lines should be penalized if they keep fake hiking you and you're not on aggressive. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just certain little things that could be fixed or tweaked. But injuries is a no-go for me as well. I don't think it should be in MUT.
Yeah, I agree with that point. I don't think they should be in MUT either. All right, so next question. Texas, tell us why predictors aren't in game, and would you like them or anything else?
So I don't know why predictors aren't in the game, besides the fact that they're stupid because they're only giving you like 88 overall cards for getting the entire NFL game right. These motherfuckers think that if you're out here predicting against the spread, like that, your reward should be the 88 overall player. Like if
the best card is 88.
No, like last year it was like a fantasy pack. I think it was like 89, but it was like the best like core elite you can get. So if you pick 30 out of 32 games right against the spread, you got like a little bit of coins. I think you got coins, but not enough. If you gonna get that many games right, you gotta be playing at Vegas. Cause that's ridiculous what they were doing last year for a bunch of Madden guards. So it's stupid that it's in the game. Only benefit that was good was you can just exchange your predictor token for true or false, which was a good way for daily objective. That's the only benefit that thing served last year.
That was pretty nice, yeah.
So I don't know why it's not in the game, but I do know I don't know why they haven't went back to weekly matchups from Madden 13. We're talking about this on the pre-show, where we're trying to like talk about what we're gonna be talking about today. And so back in Madden 13, they had these weekly matchups, which I keep bringing up a lot. A lot of you guys hear that, where you so every single week they would, if there were 16 games, 14 games, 12 games, they would add sets into the game where you had to collect players that are playing in that game for coin rewards or pack rewards or both. And so an example of that would be back in Madden 13, if the Bears were playing the Eagles, you had to collect, let's say, a gold bear and a gold eagle, and then you got like $15K back for doing that. And you get the players back in that. And then you can do whatever you want with the players after that. But it was just a way to get you coins for having maybe not sold players in your binder. And so instead of like selling a gold for 2,000 coins, another gold for 3,000 coins, you can get 15K if you have the right players, obviously. And then they went up to elites as well. I'm pretty sure there was no elites in that Madden. But there's some legends though. So one of that legendary matchup. So that like Monday night or Sunday night. One of the games I remember was like Otto Graham. This is like 80. What was it? What was Otto Graham? Was he at 90? I forget what his overall was. It was collecting an Otto Graham and like another legend rookie. And you got like those players back, which quick sold for like 20K a piece. And then you also got like coins and then a legends pack. And so it's just ways to get people coins and packs and just players back. It was just a cool little thing they did just to reward players that had a bunch of players in their binder still, or just another thing to pull out of packs that added value to pulling packs, which we don't have anymore because I guess they don't think Madden 13 exists. Like they did one thing for Madden 13, which was the puzzle pieces. It haven't went back since. It's just like, nope, that's all we got. That's all we got.
That's all you'll get, and you'll like it.
Yep. But that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if you guys like that idea or not, but like just randomly in your binder, just like you got a bunch of gold that you can sell for like 10K now. I just like adding value.
I love it. Yeah.
I just like
anything to make coins.
I just like
I'm with the coin making.
Any value you can add to cards, I'm a big fan of.
Oh yeah. You go Texas. Yeah. Keep rolling with good ideas like that. No, I agree. I didn't play that much, but it sounds fun. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Wolf, did you play MUT? How long have you been playing MUT for?
Since probably Madden 16. That's when I started actually playing it because, like I said, we were tourney players. We were just competitive players playing regs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because the tourneys really shifted to MUT. What, when they brought out the new MCS, right? Was that 17?
Yeah, and the grinding for that is just it's too much for someone like me. Unless I'm gonna make the events live, but I think now it's like they take in everything into account for your points. So it's like if you show up to the events but you're not doing online, does that affect your points? You know what I mean? And does that hurt you?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions with competitive, and
it seems like you just don't get a straight answer. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that.
It does seem very complicated, but like maybe they want to give people multiple ways to qualify through live events and through online, right?
Right.
Yeah. So. Anyways, so you're gonna try and compete this year.
Well, I was going to this year, and it all came to a stop there on that situation that happened. So I was like,
in
nah,
Jacksonville, yeah,
not this year. You know what I mean? Like it like knocked the wind out of a lot of people, or the actual drive to even want to play the game anymore.
I've definitely seen that, like, and a lot of people have talked about they never want to play Madden again because of those events, and it was damn tragic. Yeah, it was, terrible on that entire situation. So we'll see what happens with competitive Madden for the rest of the year.
Isn't everything canceled? Even the Vegas event, everything's all canceled already?
I think some of the events are, but I don't think the whole season's canceled. No.
No? Okay.
No, I think they're still gonna keep doing it, but I don't know. But that is it for the podcast and all the topics we had. Is there anything you guys would like to chat about before we head out?
Yeah, I just want to bring up one thing. I just want to ask Fox if he was playing Mario Kart today. And if he was playing Mario Kart, what do you think about when he used Toad?
Toad? I wasn't playing Mario Kart, but based off the headlines I read, I kind of wish I was. You know, I'm all about experiencing life to its fullest extent and seeing the sights that this wonderful Earth has to offer.
And that would have been a good sight, huh?
Yeah, it would have been just an absolute monumental sight. We'll just say. Well,
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I got you. For those who don't know, look up what Toad looks like and just Google it. Or if you're under 18, don't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google it.
Yeah,
don't Google me, bro.
We can't even talk about it because
we get demonetized.
It's not monetizable, so
it's Texas's channel. So what do we care, right?
Oh yeah, this is Texas.
I'm about to get in trouble. All right, so that's gonna be the podcast. Thank you, KingWolfe, for coming on the podcast today. Appreciate your help. Thank you, Fox.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again, Tex. I talked to you twice a week now. It's been improved.
Right? I'm uploading that video, by the way, now, so hurry up.
Okay. I got to export that.
Y'all take care. We'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.
See ya.